So who out there has trouble giving their dogs pills? Me. I had trouble giving my dogs pills. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video about giving your dogs pills because there's a lot I learned from going through it. So while traveling in Florida, my dog had emergency surgery. And as part of this emergency surgery, I came home with a lot of pills. She's a big dog, so the antibiotics she was on, there was a lot of pills that for her weight. So it became a problem that I had to give her that many pills, and we weren't prepared for it. We hadn't practiced a procedure. I've had to do it much with her before, so it was immediately a problem. Of course, I tried, like everybody else, I tried to put it in her food, and that wasn't going to happen. She was not going to take all those pills in her food. And then I also quickly learned that that's not really something I would want to do anyway, because then she didn't really want to eat after I took them out of her food for a couple days. So at the beginning of this process, this was 2 weeks of this, and that first week was tough. And then once I learned everything I learned, put it into practice, by the end, she was basically able to pill herself, which was awesome. But I went through a week of struggling, her and I, before I got there, and you don't need to, right? So here I am. So the first thing I want anybody to take away from this video is I would not be putting your dog's medicine in their food. You just don't want to do that to them. You don't want them to be suspicious about their food. You don't want them to become picky. And this happens. It will happen. It happens to a lot of people, and I don't think you need to go down that road. And so I don't think our first choice should ever be that we put their medicine in their food. We can put supplements. I have like a cranberry supplement I put in my food. There's a probiotic I put in my dog's food. But for medicine, anything that tastes bitter, anything that's going to have an aftertaste or be bitter to the dog, I would not put in their food. So one of the first things I would do is when I have a round of medication that's going to have to go to my dog, if I'm getting chewables from the vet, I would try the chewables just as a treat, like giving it to my dog. So out of the, I think it was 5 chewables that my dog had to take at a time, one of them she would actually take as a treat. So I would just hand it to her. She would take it as a treat. Okay. So that one came off the list right away. And then I had to deal with all the other medications, anything that wasn't a chewable and any chewables that she wouldn't take as a treat. So when I looked up and researched some pilling protocols from other people in the industry, that my takeaway is, and what I really want to emphasize to everyone is, when you're going to use a vehicle to get the pill into your dog's mouth, whether it's, which is going to be food, the food needs to be of a certain consistency. But secondly, after you give them the pill, you have to follow up immediately with them licking or eating something so that they'll swallow. That's the big takeaway here and that's what I think some people miss is you're gonna give them something on the pill so that they want to put it in their mouth, but they're not necessarily swallowing it. So you then have to quickly follow up with, now lick or take this right away, so that then they do the swallow. So then that they finish whatever's in their mouth, which is hopefully the pill. Okay? So you can, if this doesn't work for you, there are, you can manually pill your dog. And that is great if you can do that and if your dog's willing to do that. But if your dog is resisting that procedure, or if you feel like there's other things happening that you don't like around that procedure, try this. Try what I'm suggesting to you. And you can practice what I'm telling you. So, and I will have a little training video shortly to help you with that. So if you train this protocol, then the dog kind of knows the procedure and will want to swallow, because they're going to know there's this good food that's coming right after it, and they're going to want to swallow that. So let me first talk about foods that are good for this procedure: squeezed cheese, cream cheese, peanut butter, liverwurst. Those types of foods is what's good for this kind of procedure. You need it to be supple enough that you can get it around the pill, but not too messy. It needs to hold together, but also be supple. So that's why things like cream cheese, squeezed cheese, liverwurst, and peanut butter work well for this procedure. And those things are usually never in dogs' food. So you're not tainting anything that's going to go into their food usually, because you're using something completely different. So if I was going to train this protocol, what you do is you will try these foods, whatever you're going to decide to use, on like a piece of kibble. You're going to hand the dog the piece of kibble, and then you're going to follow up with more squeezed cheese, or peanut butter in a spoon, or liverwurst from your finger, right? So you're going to follow up with something immediately for your dog to lick more of it off of whatever, or take, so that they swallow the thing. In this case, it'd be the kibble after, okay? So let me put on the training video. You can see how I train it with Jibe. Again, you're just going to put some stuff on a piece of kibble, present the kibble to your dog. They're going to take the kibble, then you're going to follow up with more of whatever that is. So once you've kind of practiced this protocol with your dog, then the dog's going to know the procedure, right? So like, if you ever have an emergency or your dog needs to start taking medication, they're going to know what you're doing. And again, they're going to know, wow, I get that big lick of peanut butter, cream cheese, liverwurst at the, right afterwards. So they're going to want to do it. By the end of the 2 weeks, Jibe was literally pilling herself. Like, she was just taking the medicine out of my hand. There was no fuss, no stress, no worries, because she was basically doing it herself. So if you practice this, your dog will understand what you're doing. It's not going to be foreign to them. You're also going to kind of know what to do, and you won't be stumped or flustered during an emergency. And if you practice it a few times, every once in a while, maintain the behavior. Then when you're ready, when you really need to do pills, then instead of using a piece of kibble, you're going to use a pill. All right? Okay. I hope the demo helps you. And you can, if you have questions of anything, you can always put in the comments. And I hope this helps you the next time you have to give your dog medicine in a stressful situation, and you feel like that you're a little more prepared for it. You have a plan, and that this kind of makes it easier on both you and your dog. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy grooming. So if I'm going to train pilling, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put like Cheese Whiz or liverwurst, cream cheese, peanut butter on the kibble, and then I'm going to follow it up with them actually eating some of the other things. So first, the kibble with the treat goes on it, and then you immediately offer the other one so that they swallow what's in their mouth. So again, so we have the kibble with squeezed cheese, and then we put more squeezed cheese in their mouth. So again, we're having them swallow what's in their mouth, which will have the pill in it. So if we train them that this is a procedure, then when there's a pill in there, they already know that they're going to get that second treat so that they swallow. So when we're pilling a dog, the food you need is going to be something really high value, and you want it to be squishy. So like what we have discovered for our dogs is liverwurst is actually one of the best things to use. It has really changed the pilling experience for our dogs using liverwurst. So they actually will pill themselves now. So if you notice, so that one of the dogs, Emma here, and this is the other one we're going to pill, Beckett. So we're going to pill Beckett and Emma right now with gabapentin. So once we started using liverwurst, the dogs actually started pilling themselves. Like, we really just kind of became a vehicle for the food and the pill. They started doing it themselves. So what I want to emphasize with this little training is you can't just give the dog the pill with the food. You have to follow up with more food so that they eat it. So if you just do the food, so I'm going to make a little ball with the pill in it, in the liverwurst. So I'm just going to prep these real quick. If you don't follow up with more food, the dog may take the pill out of the food. But if you follow up immediately with food, they will have to eat that and swallow. So that's what we're trying to get them to do. We're trying to get them to just swallow it quickly. So what I want you guys to do when you try this is you're going to have two things. You're going to have the pill and your follow-up liverwurst or peanut butter or squeezed cheese, okay? So you're going to pill them first and then follow up immediately with the second piece of food. So, Jay, stop. Okay? So then they swallow it. Hopefully we can see. So Beckett's drooling. That's how much he wants his little pill snack. So again, I have my pill and Jive, sit. You need to wait. So I've got my pill and I've got my follow-up liverwurst. All right, so I'm gonna pill and then follow up liverwurst immediately so that they swallow all of it, okay? And then that's it.